The Ministry of Health says the country should see a tapering down of dengue fever cases over the next 2 months as vector control efforts are ramped up and conditions change.
After January, based on the efforts that we are engaged in, we should see the numbers tapering off, and of course March onwards should become place the potential threat under greater control.
So in our program today, we reinforce the need to search for and destroy mosquito breeding sites. Hello, I'm Adrian Atkinson and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. We also look back at achievements of the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology in 2018 and help you keep safe as you traverse our busy roadways. We kick things off with this important message and then the news.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, January 17. Legislation will be taken to Parliament next week to support government's bid to retake the Venezuelan government's 49% share in Petrojam. The shares are owned by PDV Caribe, an affiliate of Venezuela's state oil refinery, PDVSA. Attorney General Marlene Malahou Fort told members of the House of Representatives on Tuesday that Cabinet's Legislation Committee had reviewed the act to provide for the compulsory acquisition of the shares held by PDV Caribe in Petrojam and for connected matters.
Jamaica remains open to an amicable solution, but the decision is taken in the national interest and for energy security, among other reasons. The law, Mr. Speaker, is of specific application to the shares in PDV. It is not a law of general application. And when it is debated, tabled and debated, it will be made manifestly clear.
Mrs. Malahou Fort also addressed Jamaica's decision to support an Organization of American States, OAS resolution, to not recognize the legitimacy of Nicolas Maduro's second term as president of Venezuela. She argued that the content of the resolution was consistent with one adopted by the OAS General Assembly in June 2018. The Attorney General added that the vote was in line with Jamaica's belief in non-interference in the internal affairs of other countries, the rule of law, respect for human rights, and democracy.
Jamaica continues to support these principles, Mr. Speaker. We continue to maintain the hope that dialogue will take place amongst the parties, consistent with our position that the people of Venezuela should have the opportunity to resolve their various issues through dialogue at the national level.
More than 6,000 residents in the Taylorland community in East Rural St. Andrew now have easier access to their homes following the opening of a driving bridge on Monday. Member of Parliament for the area, Juliet Holness, says the new infrastructure is beneficial to the community as it will lessen the travel time for residents. The 50-foot bridge replaces the previous one, which served the area for more than 45 years. It is one of several that the National Works Agency, NWA, bought from China recently. Director of Technical Services at the NWA, Roger Smith, says the other bridges are being deployed at designated sites across the island.
We have imported 8 bridges into the island, and they are to be constructed throughout the length and breadth of the island. Some are actually under construction now, 5 of them, and to a value of approximately $100 million in construction costs.
Bridges will be erected at Chesterfield and Barracks in St. Mary, as well as Southwood in Clarendon. The Education Ministry has launched a project to transform school libraries into digital platforms. The e-library project is being implemented in collaboration with the La Sierra University in California. Students will get access to thousands of current textbooks and more than 100 instructional videos by plugging in a free preloaded flash drive into their computers and uploading the software. It means they will have access to information from their personal devices, both on and off school campuses.
This is another way of extending the library beyond brick and mortar structures and literally bringing the library into the schools.
At this week's launch, the software was given to the Education Ministry regional officers who will be sharing it with schools in the coming weeks. 140 buyers are expected to travel to Jamaica later this month for the 37th Caribbean Travel Marketplace. This will be the largest number of buyers in the event's history since its inception in 2012. The Caribbean Travel Marketplace is the region's largest marketing event. It will take place from January 29 to 31 at the Montego Bay Convention Center. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the buyers are now in the process of finalizing their accommodation arrangements for the event.
For the first time, we will have major representation from China and India, which represents two of the largest potential travel markets. The truth is that today, China is the largest outbound destination.
The travel marketplace brings together hotel and destination representatives, wholesalers and tour operators, and online travel agencies, among other stakeholders. Hundreds of regional tourism stakeholders and delegates from at least 24 Caribbean destinations will be in attendance. The event is produced by the Caribbean Hotel and Tourist Association, with the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association collaborating on this year's planning. And finally, the 5 finalists in the Houses of Parliament design competition made their final presentations this week as they vie for the top design. Using a 3D prototype, the teams demonstrated the functionality of their proposed Parliament buildings and the surrounding space in the National Heroes Park. The presentations were done over the last 3 days. The 7-member jury, led by Chairman Martin Raymond, will continue deliberation until Friday, when they will submit their final report.
They've had a chance to elaborate the design, to elaborate the scheme, and to show it at its best. They've also prepared models and comprehensive reports. So we're looking at all of those, and then we discuss and we debate and we consider the various qualities and the different opportunities that have been taken in making our decision.
The 3D designs for the new Houses of Parliament building will go on display shortly for public viewing. Votes will be accepted to decide the People's Choice Award. Final announcement of the winning design for the new Parliament building will be in March. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Jamaica Eye can help you protect our citizens.
Jamaica Eye will play a part in increasing your public safety.
Jamaica Eye is part of an island-wide network of camera surveillance systems designed to increase the safety of you, our citizens. If you have a camera system outside your home or office facing a public space, log on to jamaicaeye.gov.jm today. Jamaica Eye, we're all connected. The Ministry of National Security, creating a safer and prosperous Jamaica.
It's now time to recap the achievements of the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology in 2018.
The Ministry of Science and Technology made significant strides this past year. Developing research projects and installing Wi-Fi technology in buses are just two. Let's take a look back at the year.
Dialing is now in effect for all local calls. Please remember to dial the area code 876 before the 7-digit number you are calling.
10-digit dialing was made mandatory this past year, along with the addition of a new area code 658, which comes on stream in another few years. Up to 100 commuters who use JUTC buses now have access to free Wi-Fi on board. This was made possible through a partnership between the government and Growth Tech Limited.
It not only allows them to go on social media, but also being able to create employment opportunities for themselves.
The Universal Service Fund provided employment opportunities for 1,000 young persons through the Technology Advancement Program, TAP. The 2015 Cybercrimes Act was also placed under review.
Because as the technology evolves, the act must evolve as well.
At the end of the spectrum, eGov Jamaica Limited launched GovNet in June 2018. GovNet is a secure, wide-area network infrastructure that will link government ministries, departments, and agencies. eGov also unveiled a vehicle registration and a fitness mobile application for Tax Administration Jamaica.
Once persons make the payment for the renewal of your registration, then those documents should be sent to you. Or those documents should be waiting in the tax office for you to come and just pick them up.
In the Ministry's other portfolio, the Science, Technology and Innovation (ST&I) policy was drafted and submitted to Cabinet. The policy seeks to ensure that science, technology and innovation are integrated into public procedures. $2 million was committed by the Jamaica Medical Cannabis Corporation to undertake a ganja research and development project.
The information or the data that we will gather at the end of the day will be data that cannot be disputed because of the technique that will be used.
Scientists and researchers are now benefiting from the Science Resource Center and Innovation Lab that was opened at the Caribbean Climate Innovation Center in Kingston. And after assuming oversight of the science and technology portfolios during the year, Prime Minister Andrew Holness conducted reviews of all the affiliated boards, along with their systems and procedures.
A useful measure because it has given me the opportunity to delve deeply into the operations of some of our bureaucratic structures. I am extremely happy to witness the push for increased awareness and participation in science and technology and innovation across the length and breadth of the country.
High school maintenance grant increased from $50,000 to $500,000. 600 math teachers received training from math experts. The island's first transitional living complex opens for young women who've aged out of state care. And all students who sat the final GSAT exam were placed in a full high school.
We are now able to place 100% of our students in high school. And not just 5 years now, but we are now guaranteeing our students 7 years.
The Ministry of Health has been going into communities across parishes to carry out vector control activities. It includes fogging and other interventions to destroy mosquito breeding sites. In doing so, the ministry is helping communities reduce the Aedes aegypti mosquito population that is responsible for spreading the dengue virus. Here are some of the common places in and around our homes that we should pay attention to.
Mosquitoes are undoubtedly annoying, with their irritating sound and stinging bites. But there are more compelling reasons we'd rather not have them around. Several species are carriers of diseases and a threat to human health. Of most significance to Jamaica is the Aedes aegypti mosquito, known to transmit dengue fever, chikungunya, yellow fever, and the Zika virus. Only female mosquitoes bite, doing so to get the blood they need for egg production. And therefore, only female mosquitoes transmit these viruses.
The Aedes aegypti mosquito is what we call a timid feeder. So she's easily disturbed when feeding. It means that in one night, she may feed on several persons before she takes her complete blood meal. Each time she feeds, she secretes that substance. And in the secretion of the substance, the pathogen is passed on. So in one night, one female Aedes aegypti mosquito is able to infect more than one person.
The female Aedes aegypti mosquito is a prolific breeder.
One female Aedes aegypti mosquito is able to lay up to 200 eggs each time she lays her eggs. So one mosquito can populate an entire area.
The lifespan of the mosquito is around 3 weeks, and the entire cycle from egg to adult can occur in as little as 7 to 8 days. Female mosquitoes are ready to mate within a few hours after reaching their adult stage, and males are usually ready within 24 hours.
This mosquito prefers cleaner waters. For the female mosquitoes, she will lay her eggs in water, and for the Aedes, it will be water which is in and around the household.
So while there are a number of things we can and should do to prevent being bitten, the most effective way to prevent the spread of diseases by these mosquitoes is to prevent their breeding.
The Aedes aegypti mosquito is a mosquito that breeds in a containerized environment. They do not breed in rivers and drains, but they breed in containers that can be found in and around where persons dwell. So come with us and let us show you some of those breeding sites. This is a typical dish drainer that we find in most homes. And under most dish drainer is a tray that collects the water that comes off the dishes. And believe it or not, we have found breeding in several homes in these dish drainers. Yes. You can see that we have water that has settled. If this water does not evaporate quickly, it can lend itself to the breeding of the Aedes aegypti mosquito. So you not only have to empty the dish drainer, but you have to scrub to remove those eggs. This is the typical saucer that we will find under a plant. The rain has recently fallen, it has collected water, and right now it is steaming with the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Do you have some of these in your home? Aedes aegypti prefers water that is a little bit on the cleaner side, and it's found in a shaded environment. So what should we do with something like this? It's quite simple. You need to throw away the water. And if these containers are not being used, you have to keep them turned down so they're not able to collect water. If you have them under your plants, we ask that you bore holes in them so that it will not collect water. Do you have these in your homes? We find these in a lot of hotels and business places. And we ask those persons, check these bird baths or any ornamental things like these you have in your garden to ensure that they are not breeding the Aedes aegypti mosquito. There are things like this thrown down in persons' backyard. Old equipment, old furniture, old fixtures that are taken from homes, especially during construction. These are also able to hold water. And if they're holding water and sit for a while in the environment, they will also breed mosquitoes. And so we have found breeding in wheelbarrows, in old refrigerator, in old sinks such as this one. And we ask persons, if you're throwing out these, please ensure that they are positioned in such a way that they will not collect water.
Many persons, when they do have their drums, most times drums do not have any covers. So there is a mesh cover which is so designed to replace the missing covers. It is lightweight, and what we do is just simply slip it over, and the mesh is so designed mosquitoes will not be able to go through this mesh to get to the water. So this is the ideal way. One of the benefits also of this mesh is that even when rain does fall, water will go right through it. This is a typical example where this we have is a plastic drum and we have a metal cover here which is not designed for this. Whilst in some practice the intent is good, there may be occasions in which it does not fit or sit properly, and as a result you still have openings where mosquitoes can go right through and breed.
The mosquito is breeding right there in some very small places right around where you live. What is the habit we want you to develop? Once every week, search for and destroy the breeding sites of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
So here are the facts.
7 out of 10 Jamaicans die from a non-communicable disease.
Because we love our people and we want them to live better quality lives,
we, the Ministry of Health and our partners, are launching Jamaica Moves.
Jamaica Moves is a call to action to prevent non-communicable diseases.
By educating and encouraging Jamaicans to be active.
Eat healthy.
And start living 30 minutes at a time.
Because 30 minutes of physical activity each day,
along with proper nutrition, can go a long way.
To prevent your risk from developing certain NCDs such as diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and certain cancers.
And remember, it's life we're promoting. That's why you see me going hard right now.
I'm all about living.
So help us take this first step towards a healthier Jamaica so you can enjoy more moments, more memories, more life.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
Picture roadways without signs or markings. It would be chaotic, right? Because we see this over and over at intersections when traffic lights are not working. So this reinforces the importance of signs and markings to regulate traffic and pedestrians. But their effect is lost if we do not obey them.
Pedestrians, it is only safe to cross this designated part of the road if you follow the road rules. Never attempt to cross before the indication is given, and do not try to beat the oncoming traffic which has the green light.
You have overhead bridges, and overhead bridges are safe areas that are provided for pedestrians to cross. What we are seeing are pedestrians dashing across dual carriageways and then leaping over concrete medians. That is a no-no. We have had persons who have lost their lives doing that. And I am now appealing to pedestrians to do the right thing and access the overhead bridges that are provided in order to save your own life.
Where there is no overhead bridge or crossing sign, use the pedestrian crossing with caution. Monitor the lights and cross when it's safe to do so. That is a dangerous practice and a 99.9% chance of this happening.
The amount of kinetic energy that comes on your body, that is going to determine whether or not you survive.
There are several signs. Road signs are the language of the road. You have informational signs, directional signs, warning signs, and you have enforcement signs. Enforcement signs are erected upright or those that are drawn on the road surface. For example, you have stop sign, one-way sign, and it points in the direction where the one-way is. No U-turn, no parking, no right turn, no entry, a number of signs. If there's no sign that are erected upright, you will see yellow markings painted on curb walls. That constitute no parking, and you should not park in those areas. You park where white painting is drawn on those curb walls. Those are areas where parking is permitted. You have continuous white lines that are drawn on road surface. No motorist should drive to the right of a continuous white line. There are some other signs, especially like along Knutsford Boulevard, where the dual carriageway is, but there is any elevated median. You see something looking like a zebra crossing. Those crossing depicts a median, but a median that is not elevated. If you disobey a stop sign, it carries a fine of $4,000 or 6 demerit points. If you disobey the traffic light, the red light, that too carries $4,000 a fine or 6 demerit points. On the approach of a traffic light, for example, Halfway Tree Road, Chelsea Avenue, by JIS there is no filter light. You are to obey the light, and whenever you get green, you are to proceed. These lights are so configured that they allow for a pedestrian to cross. So when that red light is on, pedestrians are crossing. So that's why a filter light is not put in. When approaching a roundabout, you are to yield to the person to the right. Right? Always allow for that person to go first. A similar thing with a yield sign, a give way sign. You are to yield to the person and allow that person to proceed. If you happen to overtake, you are to do so if the way is clear, and once you complete that maneuver, you are to get back to the left lane and remain there. We have persons anticipating the light. You have those that are anticipating the green, and even before the green comes on, they are off. And you have others who are beating the amber in order to go by as well. And I should tell you this, red means you are to stop, amber means you are to prepare to stop, and green means you are to go if the way is clear.
And remember, always wear your seatbelt.
As we close today's show, we ask that you stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.